Sol, presented by NM Pinion Coffee. Adam Deal here. Now being joined by the captain of the Sol, Andy Wilkinson, president of the Albuquerque Sol, Ron Patel. Gentlemen, I appreciate you guys coming on. Let's chat some football, shall we?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first thing we're going to start with, and I'll start with you, Andy, before we get into the highlights. Tough weekend, right? Because you play Midland Odessa Sockers and you drop both games, and we're going to get into why and how and everything. You guys are playing technically a lot better right now. You're getting more players and you get a little bit more cohesive, but still now 0-3 in PDL standings. It's got to be a rough start for you.
Yeah, it's been a tough start for us, not getting the results on the field. We certainly feel like, you know, the team are together. You know, we feel like we're getting things right, but it just seems not to happen on game days. And, you know, the first game against Midland was very disappointing because, you know, we had a great start, you know, hot start. We had some injuries before the game, kind of had to change things up a little bit. But, you know, first 5 minutes, you know, we would press. That's what we wanted to do, get in their face, start on the front foot, scored after 6 minutes. And then, similar story to the previous two games, is conceding silly goals that we shouldn't be conceding, and you know, and it's tough to take. And then, of course, after 20 minutes, you know, down to 10 men, and you know, from then on, it was back against the wall, and you know, we just had to sit in and kind of dig in and do what we can. And, you know, obviously losing the game afterwards was tough, but you know, I felt like the group came together more after that game because we had to be together, had to be organised. And you know, it's tough to lose that game with 10 men, but you know, I think we could take some positives from that first game, knowing that, you know, second half, I think we looked the better team for good periods of the game with 10 men.
Yep.
So.
And I'm going to back up a little bit, and I'm going to go with you, Ron. Really 0-4 to start the season, just because not in PDL League play, but the U.S. Open Cup opening round loss to Harpos FC, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to go into the highlights of that one, but then the loss to the Las Vegas Mobsters 2-0 in a game that you tell me that was probably not the tell of the whole story, right?
Yeah, it was a tough game. The playing surface didn't leave much to be desired. It was a very bumpy playing surface. It was kind of like a backup field, I think, that they played on. So the ball was bouncing a lot. Most of the game was played with the chest, the head, and a lot of volleys. And credit to the Mobsters, they took advantage of the two opportunities they had and scored on them. But we were definitely the more skillful team, but it's hard to play with skill when you try to pass the ball in triangles and the ball's hopping like that. So, I mean, fair play to the Mobsters. They capitalized on their opportunities. We didn't. Their goalkeeper made a brilliant save at the beginning of the first half. I think it was Adam Thurston that was in on goal and could have had one back. But it was a disappointing loss. Looking forward to playing them again when they come out here. We play them at UNM Soccer Stadium on July 2nd on a great surface. So I'm excited to see us play on that surface. But
let's check out the first game this last weekend against Midland Odessa. A couple of the highlights in that one. It was, you know, it was shaky for a little bit. In the end, I think it was Mealy that clears it. And then Midland Odessa able to put one in. I'll tell you, one thing I was impressed. Not a lot of things were too impressive about Midland Odessa, but missed clearance here, but the finish there was solid by Bruno Almeida. Bruno Almeida scores both of the goals, by the way, in this one for the Sockers. And yeah, that's cute anyway right there. But I mean, he was impressive technically as a player. You go back, Andy, we talked about this. Even with 10 men, you guys were still getting opportunities to put one away here.
Yeah, no, definitely getting chances. You know, I think once you go down to 10 men, you know, the kind of style that we wanted to play was, you know, really tighten up. And if we can counterattack, that's where we'll take our chances, you know, win set pieces in the final third and see if we can capitalize. And we did that, and we just weren't quite able. You know, the last 10 minutes was, you know, especially when they went down to 10 men also, you know, we were definitely the assertive team.
You came on for like the last 10 minutes.
I came on for the last 10 minutes.
And you saw that shot right there. It was deflected,
game.
actually. It could have been a pretty good shot on frame and tested the keeper a little bit. You guys get your first goal in that game. Teasdale, actually a beautiful setup. Jack Clancy had a chance. It was cleared off the line, and then Teasdale put it right back in, side netting him. And it was a gorgeous goal. I think technically you could see when you guys, you know, poise and you take your time and you build your attack, you have the skilled players that could finish in the final third, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we have some excellent technical players in the team. And you can see from the style of play that we like to do. We like to get the ball down. We like to play out the back. All across the field, we have guys that can play. I mean, I think one weakness with the Midland game was that I didn't think we pressed them high enough because I didn't think their back four were good footballers. But I think in our team, our back four, our back six are all fantastic on the ball. And as you can see, we have, very good possession. It's just that frustrating aspect that we're not quite able to finish our chances at the moment.
And one of the tough things about the PDL season, there may be viewers that don't understand this, is most of the players that are on our teams play in colleges all around the country. There's a lot of internationals that are in too. And I mean, the first game, the Open Cup game, which we'll touch on a bit more later, I mean, one of our players got in 30 minutes before the game started. And a lot of these guys had been in, some hadn't even trained, some had done one training session and then had to learn the style of play. So you've got to bring it all together in a short amount of time. So I am pleased with the progress I've seen so far. I'm proud of the way that we've played the last week, and obviously I would have hoped for better results. But I think with guys like Andy and his leadership and Coach Gordon, he doesn't tend well to losing, and he's gonna find a way to come back this weekend on the road and bounce back. I'm confident.
We were able to catch up with outside back Lucas Seligman after the end of that Odessa game, and so here's what he had to say. Back at it, Mataville now with outside back Lucas Seligman. You guys didn't get the results against the Sockers tonight, 2-1. It was unfortunate, obviously. Prost goes down with a red card in the 22nd minute. Things were really clicking, though, for you guys earlier. Able to move the ball, got a fantastic goal, was well built, a great finish by Teasdale. Talk about the first 19 minutes, really.
First 19 minutes, I'd say we started off strong. That's what we wanted to do this game. Started off the last couple of games, a little bit of step back, but started off strong. We were able to play in their half, connect passes, and get a goal out of it, and that's exactly what we wanted.
Feels like you guys were really combining. You did put a really good goal together. They got a nice goal as well, brought it back in the 19th minute, and then things obviously changed with the red card, playing a man down. What was your strategy after you were playing one down?
Well, early in the game, going a man down, you got to tighten it up a little bit, cut off the centralized first, let it go out wide. You got to take a little bit more chances towards the end of the game, It definitely wasn't the ideal situation, but we feel like we fought, we were in the game the whole 90 minutes, even a man down.
At the end, things... you go out, but things kind of tighten up. They get a red card as well. You guys get a couple of opportunities. Talk about that in the last few minutes.
The last couple of minutes of a game like that, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a lot of transition. You got to take your chances. If you get one chance, you got to put it on frame and, hope for the best. And, it's all out right then.
So now you'll get another crack at them, probably want the revenge now. You feel maybe with 11 on 11, you're the better team?
We definitely got to focus on ourselves and, play smart within ourselves, but we definitely feel like we'll be able to compete against this team again, and, this time we're going to get the better of it.
We'll see you Sunday night, man. Appreciate it. That was Lucas Seligman, outside back, obviously a little bit frustrated, especially with the red card and how it went. This has to be a little bit frustrating because you guys know that maybe, 0-3 should not be the real tale of the story so far.
Yeah, we definitely feel like 0-3 definitely doesn't do how we've played justice. I think, for large parts of every game we've played so far, I think we've been the better team. I mean, you go back to the Open Cup against Harpost, I thought second half, by far the better team. Again, in Vegas, I thought we were a better team for the entire game. Again, props to Vegas. They took their chances when they had them. And then obviously the two Midland games, barring, being down to 10 men, Sunday especially, I thought we dominated the game, possession, chances, and it's just not falling our way at the moment.
Yeah, it certainly bodes well though. We've got a lot of new guys this year, but guys like Andy that are back from last year. We weren't sure if he was going to make it back, but he made it back. Andy played at Eastern New Mexico, where I think someone on set might have had the first goal ever.
That's right. Everyone remember the first
Eastern
goal in Eastern New Mexico history. So before Andy got there, I was scoring, but no, we were both Eastern alum.
And Andy's left hand got a little heavier in the off season too, didn't it?
I did. It got a little heavier, yeah.
Congratulations on that too. Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the highlight that we have for the second game, really the doubleheader, really on Sunday, and this is really the only real good opportunity. There's one other opportunity that Snabeck had a wonderful save, but Leon Taylor's going to put that one away in the 37th minute. That proved to be the difference. That has to be more frustrating because I think they had 3 total shots. 2 of them were on goal and 1 was the goal, Andy. That's tough.
I mean, it's like I said, it's kind of similar story, and it's really tough to take. And you watch the highlights of the goal, and I think before that, we'd kept possession well, and just, you know, like I said, we like to play. So there's those times where, you know, we do concede possession in, you know, our own third, and, you know, that was the case, and I take a lot of responsibility for that, being the leader at the back. You know, I think, you know, we're working on transitional defense from playing our, you know, big style of play and kind of getting back tight after we concede the ball. But, you know, I think if you watch the game, you know, if you were there watching the game, or, you know, you watched it online, you'd see that, you know, we do a very good job of keeping the ball, moving it from side to side, and kind of creating chances. So
what I really love about the back four and playing a lot of my time in college in the back four is the way that you guys do it. And I love how you attack with your outside back. I mean, Lucas Seligman and Tom Smart are fantastic players on the ball, as well as having to get back and you know, and have to obviously be cohesive and defend well and be smart. But you guys push your outside backs up so high to get into the attack, and I mean, it could be very successful at times. Unfortunately, in the second game, I mean, there was a couple of opportunities that probably should have been put away. Jack Clancy had one that was cleared off the line, I think, in the 9th minute. That would have been a completely different result if that goes in, because obviously Midland Odessa was never really truly dangerous in that game.
And I think Ryan Hunter hit the crossbar too,
Yeah, I mean, there was
in
just
the
a few
92nd minute.
unfortunate things that happen. Obviously, that's part of football, right? I mean, you're going to have your breaks and your not breaks, and sometimes the teams that, you know, gets a counterattack goal or scores is the difference. But you've got to be happy with I guess, the style, the way that you're playing each game.
yeah,
Rod, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah,
Right.
very happy. I said it before, you know, I'm proud of the way the guys played. I think it's tough to get together people from all different styles of play, from all over the world, that have learned to play the game differently, that have now learned their college system, and then come in and most likely playing a different system than what they're playing in college, sometimes different positions.
You guys, real quickly, take me through, we're going to check out the standings now here, and this is the Southern Conference standings in PDL, and you know, it's unfortunate that you have to see Midland Odessa Soccer's up there, and you understand that you technically you are a better team. I can just come out and say it. Andy?
Yeah, it's tough to look at and see it like that when, you know, you play the two games, and for the majority of both of them, you're the better team. You know, but that's done. You know, this week, as soon as Monday came round, our focus is the road trip this weekend, and, you know, our priority is to go and get 6 points on the road. And I have full confidence in my team, our team. You know, I think we've got a great group of lads. Everyone's sticking together. You know, heads aren't down. You know, we're still going to play the same style of football, still going to play the same way. Nothing's going to change. And I mean, I don't doubt that we'll go to Missouri and to Oklahoma and get 6 points on the road.
I think OKC and St. Louis might have the right idea. As you see, they just had their first games this week, and maybe we need to push for the schedule a little bit to give the guys some chance to get in training earlier and spend some time together. So this week we go to St. Louis, which when this show is actually airing, it'll be on this evening as you're watching this. And then that game will not be streamed, but the game on Sunday versus Oklahoma City, we believe, will be streamed and be showing that at Star Brothers Brewing, the official brewery of the Albuquerque Sol.
That's a nice plug. Andy Wilkinson, captain of the Sol.
Thank you, sir.
Greyhound. Great guy. We'll see him a lot more. Appreciate you coming on. Ron Patel will be back in a little bit. We got a lot more. Mike Edwards is going to come on. Also, Dan Lodge is going to come on. It's all right here. We're going to talk Leicester City and everything that's going on across the world in soccer right here. You're watching Soccer Talk with the Sol, presented by New Mexico Pinon Coffee.